What is up, world? This is John Marshall coming to you from just outside of Fort Riley, Kansas today. This is going to be the second video in my boot camp series. Now, if you saw the first video, I talked about mindset, and I said I was going to do mindset for a few videos. I've had a lot of requests on one of the last videos I made, which was how to make money on Twitter. A lot of people were asking me, how do I build my list and stuff on Twitter? The response was overwhelming. So I was like, you know what? I need to I need to make a video so these guys can kind of see what I mean by building a list on Twitter. So that's what's going to be covered in tip number 2 here. This video actually might be close to 10 minutes long, so it probably would be longer than 10 minutes if YouTube would allow it, but they only allow the 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to be quick. I'm going to cover a lot of information here. So hopefully you get some value out of it. But like I said, today's topic is going to be how to build a list on Twitter. All right. First things first, you got to build a list, or you got to follow people. All right. So we're going to follow people. So you create your account, and then you start following people. All right. This is the key. You start. You got your account. You got 0 followers and people following you. So what you do is you start following people. Now, do you follow random people or do you follow just, specific people? What I like to do is I like finding people that are already in home-based businesses, internet marketing, stuff like that for my list. And I also enjoy talking with people that have my same interest, like TV shows, stuff like that, sports. So I try finding those people, and those are the people I like to follow. How do I do this? I use Twallow. It's a website on the computer that allows you to follow people by keywords that they're typing in. You can go to Google, type it in. There's tons of services out there that allow you to do this, or you could just follow people randomly. There is no set way or set rules of tweetering or the Twitter world. You kind of do what you want. But that's the key, is you start following people. From there, okay, you gotta let your account be active for about 30 days before you really start pushing how many people you're following. Okay, they'll ban you if you have too much activity in that first 30 days. It didn't happen to me, but this is what I've been told by a lot of people. So you really want to have your account active for about a month before you start pushing that. When I pushing that, I mean following hundreds of people at a time. After that 30 days, I'll tell you right now, I've sat down for an hour straight and followed people up to like 800, 1,000 people, all at once, and I didn't get booted. But that 30-day rule is kind of like a little given in Twitter. All right, but after that 30 days, game on, start pushing it. Now, you start following, you've waited your 30 days. The first thing you're going to come upon is the 2,000 follower barrier. Okay? What's going to happen is, say you have like 1,800 people following you. Those are the people that are following you, and then you're following, let's say, like 1998, and it doesn't let you follow like 1998 or be like 2001. You can't get over this number. They call this the 2,000 follower barrier. Twitter doesn't want you getting like too far. They just don't want you coming on and following all these people trying to build your list real fast. So this is their way of stopping you. The way to counter this is to, what I do is, like, when I was around here, I got through it pretty fast. Like, say I had 1,800 followers, I would follow, up to my 2,000 barrier, and I would do that in the morning. So I'd have 2,000 and then bam. By the evening, out of those 200 more people that I followed, I would have like 1,864, okay? What I would do is, the next morning, I would go into my list of following, and the people that weren't following me, I would delete them. So, 1,864 of these people are following me, but the 100 and so whatever that weren't following me, I would delete them. So I'd go through my list, I'd click unfollow. So now my following list went back down to 1,864, even with that. Then what I would do is I would invite, 100 and plus so more people to get it back up to like 201 mark. And then the next day, I would be, at 19, let's say like 1910. And then I would do the same thing. And the closer you get to 2,000, then boom, you're over. Now this formula, I use even past the 2,000 barrier. What I do is I go back into my account and unfollow the people that aren't following me back. I give them maybe a day or two to follow me. If they don't want to follow me, that's cool. I don't want to follow them because I can't build my list if they don't follow me back. I'm not Ashton Kutcher who can follow 10 people and have 1 million people following me. Unless you're a celebrity, you're not going to have that advantage. So you pretty much need to have people following you to build your list. So that's kind of like a rule of thumb. Someone follows you, you follow them. I do delete, like if people are following me and they're spammers, I delete them. If they're promoting stuff I don't like, I'll delete them. You don't have to follow them, but for the majority, as a kind of like courtesy thing, I do follow a lot of people, but that's all what you want. Like I said, there's no tweeter rules, so it's whatever your preference is. Now the thing is as you start building your list and your numbers grow, okay, this is what starts happening, and I see this a lot, is people's lists start falling. And the reason is that probably a few things. Either you're inactive or you're spamming people. Now, what I use is I use a lot of programs like there's so many programs online for Twitter, the different softwares and websites you can use. I go to websites that show me like who's been inactive for like a month, and then I'll unfollow them. Because if people aren't getting on Twitter, there's no point in them even being on your list if they're not going to interact with you. So I'll get rid of those guys. But the spammers, I use TweetDeck. It's a program that you put on your desktop, and you can separate stuff into columns. So like I'll have all my friends, and I have different groups, and then I have like my replies and direct messages. It's really easy to follow, and it's all on my desktop in one spot. It's great. And what I do is I have that running all the time, and I'll bring it up and look in there. I reply to all my different people that send me replies, direct messages. You want to communicate with people, build that list, have fun, interact. Like I said, that's why I like following people that have the same interests as me, so we can talk about the same stuff. It's it actually gets fun and addicting. And then from there, the spammers, I delete these guys off my list. I don't want them. The guys that are like, come check out this, like every 10 minutes. It's the same picture, the same message. Like, that is not what Twitter was designed for. Those guys get knocked off my list right then and there. I don't even give them a second chance. Don't do that. If you're going to market on Twitter and make money like I showed in my last video, don't do that. That is the wrong thing to do. But, stick to, like I said, building your list, building that communication, and then kind of sneaking those links in there. If you kind of don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my other video about making money on Twitter. But that's pretty much all I'm going to cover in this video. I don't want to make this video too long. If you guys have any more requests or me to go deeper like into the different software I use, just like I said, put a comment at the bottom of the video. I'll be more than glad to make another boot camp tip over here about maybe TweetDeck or something like that. But thanks for listening. I hope this helped you out a little bit, and hope you got some value out of it. Talk to you later. Bye.